So friends, let's first look at the multiplication of the algebraic expressions. Now first of all, we'll take the simplest form of algebraic expression, which is monomial. So we'll take two monomials to be multiplied because that will be the simple product, the simplest product possible between the two expressions. Now when we take two monomials and we multiply them, the product is simply the multiplication of the numeric coefficients and the multiplication of the different variables which are present in one or more monomials. Now if the same variable is present in more than one monomial, then we need to add the exponents of that variable from all the monomials to get the final product. So let's take an example and see how do we actually do that multiplication. So we take three monomials to be multiplied, the first one being 2x raised to power 6, y raised to power 4, z raised to power 5, and the second being minus 3x raised to power 7, y raised to y, z square, and the third being 8x y raised to power 9, z. And when we try to multiply them, first of all, we'll just multiply the coefficients of these three monomials, which makes it 2 into minus 3 into 8. And now, looking at the variables which are present in these three monomials, x is a variable which is present in all three of them. So we just add the exponents of all the monomials for variable x. So we get x raised to power 6, which is coming from the first monomial, 7 which is coming from the second monomial, plus 1 which is coming from the third monomial. So similarly for y, we do the same thing. 4 which is coming from the first monomial, the power of y in first monomial is 4, 1 which is coming from the second monomial, and 9 which is coming from the third monomial. So we add them to get the final exponent for variable y in the final product. And then similarly we do it for z, which is 5 plus 2 plus 1. So the product of these three given monomials will be minus 48 into x raised to power 14 into y raised to power 14 into z raised to power 8. Now for performing multiplication, that was the simplest multiplication that we performed for algebraic expressions, that was monomial multiplied with the monomial. Now if we want to perform multiplication for expressions which are which could have more than one term, so we'll put both the expressions in brackets with or without a multiplication sign between them. So note that it does not matter whether we put a multiplication sign between the expression 1 and expression 2 or we don't put it, it means the same. So we need to then use the distributive property of multiplication over addition and subtraction, which says a multiplied by within brackets b plus c is equal to a multiplied by b plus b multiplied by c. So we're going to use this distributive property of multiplication over addition and subtraction to get the final product. Let's see how we'll do that. Now first of all, we'll see how we do that in an arithmetic operation. So if we have an arithmetic operation of the type 5 plus 3 into 4 plus 7, these are the two numbers to be multiplied, but the numbers are in the form of addition of two numbers. So now let's see what we'll do for that. Using the distributive property, we'll make it 5 plus 3 multiplied by 4 and then 5 plus 3 multiplied by 7, and we'll then add the 2. So, and then again we'll apply the distributive property to make it 5 multiplied by 4 plus 3 multiplied by 4, and to the second part we'll say 5 multiplied by 7 and 3 multiplied by 7. So we'll use the same method of multiplication to the algebraic expressions now. So let's now replace by 5 by x, 3 by y, 4 by z, 7 by w, and in this expression now becomes we want to calculate x plus y multiplied by z plus w, and let's see how we'll do that. Now we apply distributive property as we've done in the previous example. So it makes it x plus y multiplied by z plus x plus y multiplied by w. And let's apply distributive property again, and that makes it x multiplied by z plus y multiplied by z plus x multiplied by w plus y multiplied by w, and which the final product becomes xz plus yz plus xw plus yw. Now this product should be further simplified by combining all the like terms wherever possible. Let's now see how do we multiply different algebraic expressions with multiple terms. In the above example, we've just considered a binomial for demonstration purposes. Now we'll see how we can extend the same method to polynomials with any number of terms. Let's take two polynomial. First with n terms, small t1, t2 till tn, and the second polynomial with m terms named capital T1, T2 till Tm. Now if you want to find out the product of these two polynomials, the result would look like small t1, which is the first term of the first polynomial, multiplied by the complete second polynomial, which is capital T1 plus T2 till Tm, plus the second term of the first polynomial, which is small t2, multiplied by capital T1 plus capital T2 till Tm, and so on till we multiply the last term of the first polynomial, which is small tn, with the whole second polynomial, which is capital T1 plus capital T2 till Tm. So this will be the product of two polynomials with n and m terms each. Now let's move over to division of algebraic expressions. Division of algebraic expression is again performed similar to the arithmetic operation. Now let's take an example where we are dividing a square plus ab plus b square by a plus b. So again, you know, the concept that dividend is equal to divisor multiplied by quotient plus remainder remains the same both for the arithmetic division and for algebraic division. So now in the shown division, we see that a plus b is the divisor and a square plus ab plus b square is the dividend here. Now when we start performing the division, we multiply this with a, we multiply the divisor with a, and it becomes a square plus ab, and this we put just below the dividend, just below the respective term of the dividend, and then we subtract whatever we get as whatever we get after multiplying a plus b with a from that part of the dividend, and we get the next term of the dividend down, and here we get b square, which becomes the remainder in this case, whereas a is the quotient. Now let's look at a more complex division to be performed. Now let's take an example where we have the dividend as 4x square plus 3xy plus 2y square plus 5, and the divisor as 2x plus 3y. Let's try and see what will we do in this case of division. To find the first term of the quotient, we take the first term divisor and see what should be multiplied to it to get the first term of the dividend. So in this case, we know that first term of the divisor is 2x and first term of the dividend is 4x square. So we first see what is to be multiplied with 2x so that we get 4x square, and that clearly is 2x. So now first of all, before we proceed with this long division method of algebraic expressions, first thing that we need to understand is that we need to arrange the dividend as well as the divisor polynomial in the decreasing order of the terms. If more than one term have the same degree, then the terms are arranged in decreasing order of the first variable. Say for example, in our case, the dividend here is x square, the first term of degree 2, then 3xy, which is again degree 2, 2y square, which is again degree 2. So if we were to divide it with 2x plus y, we'll first arrange it in this sequence where the highest exponent of x is taken as the first term, then the reducing exponent of x would be taken as the consecutive term. So this is the first rule before performing with the division. And we need to arrange the divisor also in a similar way, so that if we are arranging x the highest exponent of x as the first term in dividend, we will arrange the highest exponent of x in the divisor also as the first term. So now that we've found the first factor to be multiplied, so we found that 2x plus y needs to be multiplied by 2x to get the first term 4x square. So we write 2x in the quotient part of the this long division, and then we multiply 2x with whole 2x plus y to get 4x square plus 2xy, and then we place these terms below the respective terms of the dividend. Now we subtract and we see that 4x square completely gets cancelled out with 4x square, and 2xy is to be subtracted from 3xy. We get xy down, and we get this 2y square term along with it. So it becomes, now in this case, the dividend now at this stage of division becomes xy plus 2y square. So we again see what is to be multiplied with 2x so as to get xy, and that is half y. So we multiply the same way and we get half y. We multiply half y with 2x plus y, we get xy plus half y square. And we now again see that xy get cancelled out, and we subtract half y square from 2y square to get 3 by 2y square, and we again get this term 5 down here. And now if we see, we know that now the division cannot be carried out any longer when the exponent of the first variable in the difference, which is this, is less than that of divisor. Now why do we say the exponent is less? Because we're not talking about the exponent of a variable y, we're talking about the exponent for variable x, because the first term in the divisor contains the variable x. So now the exponent of x in this difference is 0, which is less than the exponent in the divisor. So now we cannot perform the division anymore. So 3 by 2y square plus 5 becomes the remainder. 2x plus y obviously remains the divisor. 2x plus half y becomes the quotient in this case, and that's how we get the quotient and the remainder. Friends, I hope you enjoyed the session. If you find it useful, please like it and share it with your friends. You can visit us at our Cool Smart Learning website and post your queries there. And please subscribe to the Cool Smart Learning channel for getting updates on the new sessions. Thank you.